I'm here with Anne Richards, who's CIO of ABERDEEN Asset Management, and the markets have given everyone a horrible time over the last few days. What can you do to work with these difficult, volatile markets?
Volatility is always a friend and a foe, because clearly it throws up some opportunities as well as potentially giving everybody a few more sleepless nights than it might otherwise have. And certainly you've seen some of the government bond markets have actually responded really well. So for people invested in government bonds, that's not necessarily been a bad place to be. On the equity side, markets have come off a lot on the back of renewed fears over Greece in particular. But again, there we would see some businesses are actually performing very well at a bottom-up level. And if you talk to a lot of chief executives, certainly feel the world is a much happier place than it was 12 months ago, without necessarily saying that all the problems have gone away. So we think that on the equity side there are quite a lot of interesting opportunities that this volatility has thrown up, but obviously it's a bit more of a stressful time for people than perhaps we've been used to in the last year or so.
And are you seeing opportunities in equities within Europe or within Asia, or?
We see them within all regions, in fact, but I think in terms of the big flows of money where that's looking to invest now, we're definitely seeing a resurgence of interest in quite a lot of emerging and Asian economies, and not just on the equity side. I think one of the big trends that we see is a really strong interest in emerging market debt, in Asian fixed income, both emerging Asian and more developed Asian markets there. And I think this is a realization of the fact that the fiscal situation is so much better in quite a lot of Asian and emerging economies than perhaps some of the domestic markets a little bit closer to home, like the US or the UK, where the fiscal situation is still really quite difficult.
And do you think, going right down the chain, as it were, to the end investor, how are they feeling at the moment with their portfolios and investing in your funds? Or, how do you manage that expectation? And
It's difficult. I think the first thing is to try and keep investors informed about what's going on without scaring them, and I think that's one of the lessons that everybody learned in 2008. A lot of people did things as a knee-jerk reaction in 2008, particularly in the fourth quarter, just after Lehman's went into its real difficulties, and ended up selling out right at the bottom, and effectively then didn't benefit from the very strong bounce in markets that we subsequently had through 2009. So I think one of the things that we want to try and do with our investors all the time is keep them informed, but in a non-panicking way, to help them understand that volatility is always there and it's the other side of opportunity. And if they're in the right product for the right reasons, they shouldn't let a little bit of short-term disturbance in share prices or in bond prices upset the longer term strategy. And I think that's one of the things that as asset managers we have to do to try and make sure that we're correctly matching our investors with the assets that they're owning effectively, or we're choosing on their behalf, and make sure that the time horizons match the risk tolerance that they're willing to take.
Yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Anne Richards, that was lovely. On a different note, tell me about FundForum for you. Have you been many years, or?
No, this is the first time we've come as a company. Martin Gilbert,
yes,
our chief executive, has come here for many years now, and this is the first time, for a variety of reasons, that I've actually been able to come along. We're speaking in a panel on asset allocation this afternoon. But it's been great. It's a fantastic networking opportunity. There's been some really interesting and challenging speeches and panels. Particularly enjoyed Lord Minor's with Paul Marshall earlier today, which was just fantastic. So no, it's been a great couple of days.
Thank you very much. Anne Richards, thank you very much.